One of my homeboys who is no longer with me gave me the Hidden Colors uh, DVD.
Mm.
This was in 2011. And you had Tyreek Nasheed, you had Dr. Umar on there, you had Dr. Valentine on there, you had the greats, the scholars on there. And this is when I'm learning about John Henry Clark, Francis E. Welsh, all of the greats. And that DVD changed my life. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't we know all of this information? Like, it tapped into my DNA so much. So I was like, holy crap, we've been lied to. And then I ended up watching the Zygas documentary. And that changed my whole perspective about religion and about spirituality. And once you start going down the religion rabbit hole, it opens up to now you got to go to Africa. You got to think about the beginning. What were we practicing before? Why are we all Christians and Black America now? And and that's how it kind of started. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, interesting, interesting.
yeah.
Okay, and you met your Kenyan friend, which is it's funny how people's story. I really like think it's really crazy how people's stories all come together because all these moments in time, right? Like, what if you didn't meet uh, this friend, right? You know, or what if you weren't a contractor at that time? Like, where would you
I
be?
wonder.
You thinking
You're
about?
right. Mm-hmm.
So okay, you started getting exposed to the culture through some of the Kenyan nationals while you're on your contracting mission.
Exactly. And he just was telling me how beautiful the country was and all of the things. And so at this point, I'm like, shoot, I'm becoming super Pan African. I'm in the angry woman stage of going through the enlightenment period. So I'm angry about everything. I'm like, I don't like nobody. I need to go see this myself. So I was in that pro black angry stage. Everything is about being black, 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 black. And so I was like, yep, it's time to go to the motherland. Let's do it. And so I ended up going August that year, not too long from being in Afghanistan, August 2011. And I landed at Moi International, and I was flabbergasted. I said, "Oh my God, we have been lied to, bamboozled, and hoodwinked." And this is, for my Kenyans who are watching, this is how long I've been coming here since Kibaki was president, and the Kenyan shilling was 88 to the dollar. So they were doing great. I'm talking about 2K was almost $20. I'm like, hold up, this ain't stretching too much, over here. Like, what's going on? It was, the economy is doing very well. And to get to Mombasa and be in Bamburi. And the first night we stay at his aunt's house. And I know this is going to sound ignorant, so don't come for me, Kenyans. But while I didn't think anybody was living in a hut, I didn't know it was that modern. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. And when I went to Kenya, ain't nobody talking about going to no Africa. Like,
Uh-huh.
what? Everybody thought I was crazy, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And we get into her house and she got a flat screen TV, a microwave, surround sound system. It looked like somebody on House in the States. And I'm like, damn, we've been lied to. Like, what? Then I wake up the next morning, we walk through the neighborhood and it looked like Miami, Florida. I'm like,
Mm.
this is crazy. Why didn't we? And half of these people living better than us. What is going on? And so that kind of started that journey.
For the Kenyans, you have to forgive us because we were fed a propaganda. I mean, that's where the African booty scratcher, and there's probably like a overall negative connotation because all you see is charity trips to Africa and poverty and all these horrible things. And you're never taught the history. We only really know European or Westernized history. And actually, when I go seeking out pre colonial African history, I still can't really find anything. Even though I'm seeking it out. So our perspective, especially back then, before that, and a lot of Kenyans wonder, oh, well, why do you guys make content? Why are you guys doing all this YouTube? Why are you guys doing all that? It's like, because we've been lied to and we're trying to, or at least me, want to expose people to different information. And I think it's important, especially for Black Americans, because I do think many of us coming have a different type of connection. I know East Africa, the lineage is a little bit different than West, but overall, I think we're coming with good intent and that reconnection aspect. So please forgive us. We, if you're from an area and this is all you're given, I mean, it's hard to break out of it. So I guess my next question would be, okay, you visit, you're like, dang, and I think many of us even today have that type of experience, not to the same degree because there's more information, but it's still like you could start seeing like, oh man, a different way of life out here. Maybe this is a better way to be, and then, and I don't really lean that much into the pro-Black stuff as much, but being around all people that look like you, and actually Austin talked about it, is like sometimes people can't tell that you're from somewhere else. Feels really good for us probably as Black Americans, for many of us, because that is not the case in the US. And that goes back to my point with being in Germany, is I'm more American in Germany than I am in America. I don't like downgrading America, but I do want to point that experience out to Kenyans, because I guess we'll get to Freedom's question, which is appropriate at this time, because he's Kenyan, and he said, I'd like to ask her the question Ryan has never been able to answer. Why Kenya? Why not South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, or anywhere else?
Yeah, I get asked that like all the time. And I keep it very simple. The people. The people. Hands down, Kenyans are the most hospitable people you'll ever meet in your life. Some of the most welcoming people you'll ever meet in your life, and they instantly make you feel like your family. Instantly. And I've been to 9 other African countries, and excuse me, eight other African countries, and I've been to 46 countries in the world, and I've lived in 8 of them. And out of all of those countries, Kenya by far made me feel like home. I couldn't explain it. I couldn't explain it outside of just it's the people. It's the people.
I know. I've been trying, because I feel the same way about that. Although I haven't been to other African countries yet, which I'll be doing soon. But I even get that sense from watching people's content, like, and I don't know what words to use, right? The warmth, like, I feel like it's very cliche at this point, like the
Yeah.
welcome, warmth. I feel like so many people have said that is like, what does that really mean? That's why I haven't made a video about it, because I don't really know how to describe it beyond the warmth and welcoming feeling that you get specifically in Kenya, and kind of in the region of East Africa is more like that. I
Yeah.
assume that East Africa is kind of more like the South in the United States in a way, where it's a little bit like people speak
It
to each
is.
other. Like where
It
I'm
is.
at, and hi to somebody is like, why are they talking to me?